All right, so we have done yogurt, buttermilk, and sour cream. And those processes were different than making cheese, because in all three of those we use lactic acid bacteria, and we form the clots with the acid itself. So this time we're going to start the process with cheese, and with cheese we use something called rennet. It's found in calf stomach. It's made from bacterial cells now and some fungi cells, and the rennet is going to do the clotting. So that's the difference in the cheese and the yogurt and buttermilk. So cheese is a little bit earlier. No, did I say that right? Later than bread, wine, and beer. They've been around longer. So you had the world had to wait until you could domesticate things. And it turns out that, say, 11,000 years ago, the first cheese was probably made with oats. And then about 9,500 years ago, they domesticated sheep. And then 8,500 years ago, we had domesticated cows. And the term milk itself comes from, I guess it comes from Greek, and it kind of meant
cheese
gala.
or milk?
Milk.
Okay.
Gala. And from Gala you had Galax, and then you had the Milky Way, and now we have the galaxy, milk. The Latin term for milk is lac, L-A-C, lactica, and it really means lettuce. And turns out if you took the roots of lettuce plants and pinched them, it would be a milky looking stuff. So this is just for your information. And after the Darien starts, about 1,000 years later, Marco Polo was in China in the 12th century, I think. And there was a group of cats called Tartars. They domesticated horses. And horses, it was a double luxury. You could ride them, you could milk them. And then they said ride and milk, and they get tired of that, so they figured out how to ferment the milk, and you could ride them and milk them while you're drinking. So the Tartars had it all down, but so much of that. So that's a little background that we have today. Stainless steel. We're going to take 2 gallons. I stopped at my favorite grocery store in Springfield. I was such a rush to get it, I grabbed skim milk instead of whole milk, but that's all right. We're going to do 2 gallons of whole milk. You're going to have on Moodle is the protocol. So if you try this venture, you better be set in for a couple days of work. You start early and you leave late. So we're going to get ours started, and the first process we want to do is pour this into a stainless steel platter, and we're going to put it in a water bath that's set for 32 degrees, like it says in your procedure. The next question is, will this fit? We're going to find out. Well, we've gone through a lot of jugs in this class. Before we had artesian water. Come on, don't fill up too quick. We're gonna make it. It's gonna be close. Yes, it fit in this container. So now if you're thinking about this at home, you probably don't have a water bath, but you can use
a crock pot.
Crap. Yeah.
A crock pot.
That's a bunch of a crock pot, if you want to, and
Or a double boiler.
or a double boiler.
You just have to keep it
Then
at 32 degrees.
You're going to have to kind of set it at the right temperature. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave this in here for
However long it takes to get to 32 degrees.
exactly. However long it takes to 32. So we're going to shut off now and come back and when we get 32 degrees in this milk. All right, are we on camera?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put in our starter culture, 200 mLs.
The milk is now at 32 degrees, so we're adding our culture.
Sure, it's good looking buttermilk. Whoop, we lumped one lump too many, but that's all right. Now I'm going to give this a stir.
Very carefully.
Yeah, because we reaching the rim, and this.
Now it has to sit for an hour and ferment.
And we're gonna monitor this temperature off and on. That could probably cool it down.
Mm-hmm. So what did you add?
I added at 5 minutes ago, I added the color, which is 20 to 50 drops per gallon and 60 mLs of water. And I stirred this in, it turned yellow. And then I added 1/2 teaspoon of rennet. Stirred it up and down, sideways, across, and the clock's set for 45 minutes.
This is after about 20 minutes after the rennet has been added.
So we got
another 20 minutes or so.
Now, the idea is to checkmate this thing with a sharp knife. So I'm just going to start on one side and go all the way to the bottom. It's kind of hard to get a 1/2 inch. Oh. It's like putting through a melted butter here. Now
the other way.
I'm going to turn this instead of turning myself. Easy. Why does it want to move? How's that?
Beautiful.
Now, we're going to add the calcium chloride and gently, I'm going to kind of spill it around all over the place. And then I'm going to take the spoon and kind of
Gently stir it.
Gently stir it, I think they said. Now this is dangerous because we're right at the top.
Yeah, you want to just break them up a little bit.
And get that calcium chloride kind of. Hey, that looks pretty neat, huh?
Uh-huh.
Whoops, I spilled a little. Yeah, we're going to be mixing that.
Mm-mm. Just put it in the sink.
We don't want to wait.
No.
They used to make that. I just want to get enough out so I don't splash it up. All right, let's try that. Holy smolies.
So we've got a cheesecloth lined colander, and we are going to take the whey, separating the curds from the whey.
Get that. Now, so what we want to do is make a sack out of it.
So we've put the curds into a cloth-lined colander, and we are heating the water around it to 37 degrees Celsius. And we're going to let this go for 2 hours, and every 15 minutes we're going to come and turn the curds, and we're basically drying it out. We want to get all that moisture out.
And this is number 7 on your protocol.
It'll be number 8 because I added that coloring.
Oh, number 8. See how I'm doing. All right. I think we're just going to use our hand. I'm going to roll it. Look.
Yeah, roll it like that.
See it? It just moves right on over. And we can pick that up and make it do that.
Yep.
How's that for a roll?
Perfect.
Perfect. All right, so we're on the protocol now, number 8. It's called cheddaring. Remember, we put the curds in here, and we put water in here. We wrap this around. We heated it for 2 hours, and then we cut it 1 hour. We cut it in half, and now this is ready to be go to the milling step, which is number 9. So we're going to take this out and go weigh it. And then we're going to make up at 2% salt, and we're going to roll that salt in 3 successive turns. So, we're ready to go here. Okay, the total weight of this and this is 1,659 grams, 1,659.2. We're going to subtract out the 680 for the board. 686, 2,179. Did I do that right? Yes. 971. All right, it's 2% of 971. And I want it in 1.5 to 2. Okay, so we've gone through 3 sessions of salt.
6.5 grams each.
6.5 grams each. This is a cheese press. Now what we're going to do with the cheese press, we're going to try to get all of that in there, and we're going to press it to get the rest of the whey out. So So I'm taking this part, that apart. That apart. Now, wait a minute. I want to cover this with cheesecloth. Cheese is drying up on me, which is what it's supposed to do. I think we're going to make it. Whoop, that wasn't in the river.
There you go.
I'm going to put the rest of it in there. All right, that's about all we heard. So this kit is a 2-gallon cheese making mold, and you notice when we put it in there, we had the top on it, and so you're supposed to put the top on. I just pushed this down my finger because the first 15 minutes is 10 pounds of weight. I just pushed it down far enough for us to get the rest of the thing put together. So let me see how this goes. So we got it hooked up now. We're going to start twisting it down and putting pressure. And as you notice, the more pressure you put on it, the more weight comes out the bottom of it. How far down you go or how tight you get that is the equivalent to the weights that you see on your protocol. Now, I'm not real sure how far I want to go at this point, but I can see the weight coming out. So I think the goal is you're supposed to stop, flip it, do it over again. So that's I don't know if I want to do that at this point or not, or wait until I get more liquid down there. So as we twist it down, we put in more and more weight, getting more and more weight out of the cheese. We have gone through the rigorous pressing of this over 2 days now, and what we're going to do now, we're going to open it up and we're going to take the cheese and we're going to wrap it up and let it air dry for 3 days. So remember that our press here that we, all right, come on. So we're going to open this sucker up. Boy, you had it down there. I think I'm about there. All right. Take this out. Take that out. And I'm going to push it to the bottom. All right. Now, I'm going to take the top off. I'm going to pull this out. Hey, do you notice that it all fit in our 2-gallon perfect. Close enough to perfect for me. Now what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this up, and we're going to leave it at room temperature for 3 days to air dry. So we'll see you in 3 days. Cheese. We started on the cheese a little late in the class, and the first day of cheese making is a long day, and then the second day involves the steps where we salted down the cheese and then we put it with cheesecloth, and we dried it for 3 days at room temperature. Room temperature is around 23 degrees. And every day I would take and I would roll the curd over and mop up the water. So there was a lot of water that we already had taken out of it. And those 3 days, the mold that we had for the cheese, and I learned this after we got to making 2 gallons of cheese, milk, that the mold we have is set for 1 gallon. And we had a mold, we had it on a previous shot on this slide, and it was about this tall and about like 2 cups full maybe. And if we would have done 1, all of this cheese would have fit in that thing when we got through pressing it. Turns out it looked like a mushroom in October, around Halloween. After we pressed it all out, we vacuum packed it. After we air dried it, we vacuum packed it and put it in, excuse me, refrigerated temperature. You can see that our yellow cheese is orange. And here's the rule. We were rolling along very well on the rules, paying attention to rules. And Noel had to leave, and I said, I got this. So what I got was, when it come time to add the annatto juice, on that jar, and we videotaped it, it said
20 to 50 drops per gallon.
20 to 50 drops. So I'm saying, that's a lot of drops. So, and then you had to cut the little thing, and it started 20, and I said I need some more, 20, 25. And to make a long story short, 50 is too much. So it looks bad, but it feels perfect. I would have to say that other than the color orange, this is going to come out fine. We're gonna we vacuum sealed it.
So we vacuum seal it instead of waxing it.
And then we did not wax it. If you don't have a vacuum seal, you can still wax it, or you could just layer it in cheesecloth, just layer after layer after layer, and that's the third best method. To me, the best method is vacuum sealing if you happen to come across one. Or if you know somebody, your neighbors or something, make the cheese and go over there and vacuum seal it. Or otherwise, we're going to put this in the refrigerator and for some time, maybe a couple months, and then we're gonna break out some cheese, sour cream, mashed potatoes, baked potato with sour cream, and we're gonna check on it post product. So that's it for right now on the cheese.